In my day job as the futurist, I do that because at Intel it takes us about 5 to 10 years to develop the chip and the platform.
Turn your mic on.
I got to turn my mic on. I just thought I was loud enough. I'm that loud on my own. Wow. That'll tell you something. Hi everybody, I'm Brian David Johnson. I'm Intel's futurist. And I do that because it takes Intel about 5 to 10 years to develop the chip. So it's a vital business important today for Intel to know what people want to do 10 years from now. And that's my job. I'm a principal engineer at the company. And this sort of thinking about the future and prototyping the future led me to this project. I also realized when I was trying to pick a picture to show you, and sort of in this slide, I take a lot of pictures with robots. I learned this. I have no pictures with celebrities. I have no pictures with like business magnates. You think I would? They're all of robots. This is like a 20-year-old robot that I just had to nerd out and have my picture taken with. One of the things that has been driving this research is this notion on this graph, is that as we approach the year 2020, the size of meaningful computational power begins to approach zero. We just announced 14 nanometer, and as we look out to 2020, we're looking at a 5 nanometer size chip. 5 nanometers is 12 atoms across. That basically means we can turn anything into a computer. And this is what I started thinking about. So if we can turn anything into a computer, and you see all the really great stuff that's going on with sort of makers and hackers and 3D printers, what would that be like? And so I started thinking about, we've reached this point where science and technology have gotten us to the point where what we build is only limited by our imagination. And so I said, well, why don't we then start prototyping what it will feel like to work with these and live with these different devices and use science fiction. And so we started doing something called science fiction prototyping, where you use science fiction based on science fact to figure out what the human impact will be of all these sensors and all of these technologies that we're working with. And I started thinking about, again, robots. As I told you, I love robots. And started thinking about, well, what would it be like to act and interact with this new type of robot? And so we started writing these science fiction stories. I started working with roboticists and artificial intelligence engineers, and we started thinking, what would a 21st century robot be like? And this was the first one. His name is Jimmy. He was illustrated by a great illustrator by the name of Sandy Winkleman. And over the past 8 years, we started thinking about what it would be like to work with these different robots and live with these robots. And we started really getting to know a lot about Jimmy and what Jimmy would be like and what his artificial intelligence would be like and what might need to be inside. And then as we started creating more robots, this is Paul. And Paul all of a sudden became friends with Jimmy. And then the robots actually started talking to each other. And the robots started having conversations between each other and not including us, which was both awesome and a little scary. But it was pretty cool. And then we started saying, well, okay, what if we had some other robots and even more, all based upon this design. So as we start to prototype these robots in science fiction, we realized that what we had done is kind of come up with this notion of a 21st century robot. As Dale likes to say when he sees other people's robots, oh, that's so 20th century. What's a 21st century robot? And this is pretty much it, that a 21st century robot is imagined first, that anybody can design a robot. You can bring it into your imagination, use science fiction, use art, use cartoons, but anybody can. And then it's easy to build with all the sensors we have and 3D printing and BeagleBone and even Quark that Intel announced last week, our smallest processor. Anybody can put together these. It is completely open source. The idea that you can begin to share, and it's the notion that we're sharing these designs, we're sharing the 3D designs, we're sharing the artificial intelligence, and that they're fiercely social. The 21st century robot is designed to act and interact with people. It's not meant to, it's basically the smartphone equivalent of a robot. You know, it's not meant to do surgery on you. You wouldn't want your smartphone to do surgery on you. It's not meant to change your tire. It's there to make you laugh, and it's there to interact with you. And it's intentionally iterative. It's there knowing that you're going to make another one and another one. And as we started writing this, why would you only make one robot when you can make lots of robots? And then it's filled with our humanity. Literally the things that we build, we imbue them with our dreams. And then ultimately, it has real artificial intelligence. So these aren't puppets, these aren't tethered, they have real artificial intelligence. So what I wanted to do, when we're coming here today to kind of announce the kickoff of this project, I want to introduce you to somebody. Somebody I brought with me. from Boston when I flew in today. This is Jimmy. Jimmy's printed on a MakerBot. It kind of freaks me out. This guy's been in my head for about a decade. And Wayne Lossy is our 3D designer who took Sandy's work and pulled it together and brought it into the real world. I met Jimmy for the first time yesterday and nearly lost it. There's lots of pictures of me walking around, and Wayne's going to bring me a baby Bjorn so that I can walk around. What's up? This is my robot. Check him out. So this is just an exoskeleton. The whole point of 21st Century Robot is that it's iterative. And that's why we're here. As I said, I was in Boston before because we're working with different colleges and different makers, inviting everybody to become a part of this. That it is fiercely iterative and interactive. And so we have the exoskeleton built. We're going to share the files online, all of them. They're made so you can change them. And then we're going to get together, as Dale mentioned, in November and actually do a Robot Maker Fair. So in November, Jimmy will be walking and talking with Real AI. The robotics lab at USC is working on the AI. It's a ROS operating system. It's going to be ported over to Android. It's actually going to be app-based. So anybody can now also write apps and download them onto your robots. So one of the reasons we came here and we wanted to come with Maker Fair is actually come and announce it and get as many people together and actually tell people that building a robot isn't hard and only has 3 easy steps. Number one, download the book for free. The book itself is even open. If I can get my cameras going. The book itself is even open source and halfway done. So it has the fictional stories of Jimmy in it, and then it's got the how-to chapters that tell you here's how to design the body, here's how to set the sensors, here's how to go through and do it. And again, it's open so it can be on any platform. But the book's not done yet. So we're inviting people to come be a part of this project and actually start contributing. And at the end, and the whole point is I think in May 2014 is the idea that we'll have a completed book, we'll have some completed Jimmys, but the notion is we don't actually know how this is going to end up. A lot of the people who have started designing this, if you talk to sort of respected roboticists, they'll sort of tell you it's crazy, this idea. Rodney Brooks, who was a big fan of Jimmy, said, yeah, nobody's doing this. And they all kind of look at you like, you're insane. But that's the idea, is that we could get together and actually build 21st century robots. And that's the whole idea and why we wanted to come and announce it. So all you need to do is go, please download the book. We'd love to be a part of it. Keep going back to the website. It's robots21.com. And this is our motto. And we're going to build all these robots, and every robot has a name. Every robot is an individual, and every robot is built by an individual. Thank you very much.